Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Moss, and we are the Energy Hour Podcast. Today, I'm blessed with a gentleman by the name of Steve Lazerson. He is of the Opportunities in Real Estate and Finance. Steve, hello.
Hi, Chris. How are you doing today?
What's going on? This is episode 65. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
For sure. I'm glad to be here. And just to let you know, I'm Steven Lazerson. I'm a loan officer with Peak Finance Company. We specialize in everything from residential, commercial, and private money. And also we do construction loans, and we do land loans, and whatever you need, we're here to help you. And also, if you need to reach me or anything to do with the podcast today, my website is financialbrokers.net. That's financialbrokers.net.
Is there a telephone number at that, Steve?
There is 562-818-3502.
So let me get this straight. If anybody needs money for whatever reason, they come and call you first.
Yes.
So you can figure it out.
Yes. It could be for a business, commercial. We're happy to help out.
Look at that. Steve's in the house. And look to your left here, Steve. You got two amazing entrepreneurs. These women are super successful in the businesses that they already run. And they're probably like me. Your wheels are always turning. Am I right? Tick, 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 tick. But who do we have here to your left?
Yes, to my direct left, we have Stephanie Figueros, and she is a real estate investor, and she specializes in short-term rentals and Air B&B. And then to my far left, we have Claudia Alvarado, and she's the CEO of a company called Rancho 51 Date Garden, which is a beautiful oasis in the desert in Coachella, not too far from Palm Springs.
So these women got in their own businesses and they capitalized on it, right?
Yes.
They took the horse by the reins and let it go. I love that. That's true entrepreneurs here. We're blessed, right?
Yes. These two women are amazing. I've seen Stephanie lecture on short-term rentals, and then I've been involved with Claudia with her resort, and she's taking it from just nothing to this fantastic oasis in the desert.
I heard dirt and palm trees. That's how it started.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, who can do a better job than that, right?
Right.
So that's first and foremost. Congratulations, ladies. Awesome, right? So who do you want to hang out with first, Steve, and kind of jump into it with?
Okay, we're going to start out with Claudia.
Okay.
And Claudia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your education, your family, and how you started in this business?
So my name is Claudia Alvarado, and I'm really happy to be here. So I was born in Mexico, raised here in the United States. I went to Indio High School. I'm a Raja. And I knew that going to school, I always wanted to come back to the desert. So I went to school for fashion, and I also took some business classes. And I worked for corporate America for many years. For 15 years, I designed for Macy's, Nordstrom, Sears, Kohl's, JCPenney's, for all the biggest corporate,
So that's how they became successful.
I
Nice.
made them a lot of millions,
Good job.
let's say.
Yeah.
I traveled the world. I got to go to Paris, London, Mexico, New York constantly in my 20s. And I realized that, I loved it, but I had checked all the checkpoints. I made them money. I made money. I worked hard. I enjoyed and made all my kind of dreams of that career come true. So I knew that I could start another business. So sure enough, my husband and I were married for 5 years. We wanted to start a family, and we thought, you know what? Let's move back to the desert. Let's go back with family. Let's go back to what is important, right? What's important? To be with grandparents, mama, dad, let's have them raise our kids and help us, because in the end of the day, you can make all the money you want, but if you don't enjoy it with the people you love, then it means absolutely nothing.
You know what? That's a very powerful statement you just made, because it doesn't matter what you do in life. And if I'm right to say this, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're not happy, and you're not surrounding yourself by people you love, does it really matter?
Absolutely no.
That's a big no, right?
Yeah, no. And we made a big move. We moved back to the desert. We sold our house in LA. We did a little, a great flip. We bought a house in the desert. And 4 years later, we looked at each other and we're like, your business is booming, as a designer. I had my own design studio. How about we buy this land and we create this like a pop-up resort, just something that doesn't exist.
You're talking about like a desert oasis?
Basically, yes.
Oh my
so
goodness.
It came up like we could see a lot of different companies that would come from Los Angeles and make so much money. And we thought, why can't we do it? For Coachella, there's 135,000 people that show up and need a place to stay. But there's not enough hotels. So what we did, we created this oasis. We bought the land. Steve got us the loan. He believed in us.
There's the money, man.
That's how it all happened, honestly. Like, you need money, call Steve. He makes it happen. If anyone's going to do it, like, I called 50-something investors, and he's the one that said yes.
So this is a good accolade for Steve.
I'm telling you, if I'm here with my story, it's because of Steve.
Steve always acts too humble, Look at him; he's not even really okay. You got to chuckle out of him.
This is the reason why we're here. My husband and I and our family, and after that, we just kept going with our dream. We thought, if they can do it, why can't we? We created this 8-acre ranch into this pop-up resort where we have glamping tents.
Hang on a second here. 8 acres?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. It's 600 palm trees. We have rituals. We're farmers. We're designers. We run our venue is also an event center every weekend where we have weddings, corporate events. We're
Get
busy.
out of here.
And we're also, my husband's a coach for soccer.
Of course he is.
And we help the community. And we love it. And we stay busy. And
so you guys literally pulled up your life from Los Angeles with a dream.
Yes.
You already had something going on. Congratulations on that, right? But that's not easy to do. You kind of like stripped everything, the roots and everything. You pulled everything up and said, we're going to go out to the desert. And I'm sure some of your friends and said, well, you're going where?
Right. And it's like we were already making 3 digits. Like, we were doing really well.
Okay.
Like we were comfortable. But we knew that was something that we can always obtain. Like, if we wanted to go back to the LA, we could go back. We can buy another house. We can remodel it. We can do all that. But family and the way I'm raised, it's all about family. It's all about
I love that.
doing the things that, are right. And for us, our kids, our happiness, their grandparents, their grandparents live less than a mile away at another ranch. My mom lives 2.2 miles away. So we are like in the core of the city in this ranch, in this farm, basically.
So you took everybody from LA, not just you guys. You just said, okay, everybody raise your hands.
Well, they're actually from Coachella. They are from Coachella. We moved back.
All right.
But it worked out. So now we have this ranch with 4 different businesses, and we have 800 to 1,000 guests come during Coachella and Stagecoach, and we just get these return clients. We have like the best time.
This is an annual and a continual thing you do.
Exactly.
So let me get this straight. You took an idea, you took a bunch of the dirt, 8 acres of it, may I add, 600 palm trees, and you made a business out of it. So if somebody comes up to you and they go, oh, business is so hard, what are you going to tell them?
It's really not. I really think, honestly, like, for me, there's parts of the business that are hard, like dealing with the county, dealing with, things like the county where they're trying
red tape.
Right. They're trying to shut you down because of this or because of that. But you always fight back, and you fight back being fair, being honest.
Sure.
And you win, because when you're doing the right thing and your intentions are great and the community's behind you, that's what we went through. We went through, like, you need to shut down your businesses. You're not supposed to be doing this. And we went back and said, well, us and 30-something other ranches are doing it. They're doing events. And because we are really great at social media, we thought we got the community together. I went on every TV and radio station that I know of, And we fought back and we won. And the community keeps winning because we don't give up. We don't stop our dreams. And I'm not going to give up on our community. I'm always going to work hard to make sure that everybody's standing strong next to me, because that's what community is all about.
It's all about community. That's why they call it community.
Absolutely.
Community. So you go to Walmart and people are going, hey, there she is, right? You go to Rite Aid or whatever, getting the high fives.
It's been a process, I'll tell you.
A process.
It wasn't easy. Right now, we're in the middle of writing the ordinance, especially for Rancho, so they can have events.
Well, wait a minute. You're getting in the government side of things now. Ordinance?
So the ordinance is going to be written between today and by the end of the year. We meet every couple of weeks with the supervisors and everyone in planning from the Riverside County.
Oh.
I basically know them all at this point.
Yeah, they're like really your best friends, right?
They really know me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like I said, whether you like me or not, I'm not doing anything to be liked. I'm doing something to be, to stay in business and to help my community. And that's...
Well, not only that, you're actually giving a platform and you're giving people the how-tos, and you're not giving up on people. And now you're giving back to the community, the government, the ordinance, and all this other stuff. What I see when I see you is I see this glow. I'm not kidding you. It's just, it's outlined and it says success at the top, right? Because you've given it, you've taken off your shoes, you've got your toes in the sand, and you looked at adversity and said, no, we're going to do this. And here you are today talking about it.
Yeah. It's been very hard, but it's been worth it.
I love these things. Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I admire you times infinity right now, because it, as you said, business is really not that hard to do. Just have to have an idea. You got to have, a support team too, right? If you don't have the right support team behind you, you get these, we've all heard of them, right, Stephanie? The negative Nellies. You've heard of those people, right?
Oh, yeah. Nancy's, but,
Nancy, that's her sister, Nancy and Nellie.
Yes.
But you've taken basic things in life and mixed it up with TLC, little love, little encouragement, family, networking. And here you are today sitting here talking about it. You know what? I can't wait to hang out with you in 5 years. Maybe you'll take me on your G8. We'll fly somewhere on the planet, right? Steve will be hanging out and getting martinis going on. But, congratulations to you. You have so definitely earned your stripes.
Thank you.
Right? That's amazing, right, Steve?
Yes, it is, Chris.
I mean, I didn't know she was that full of energy and stuff.
She's amazing.
The good stuff.
Yeah. 24 hours a day, she's doing something, but she still makes time, like she says, for her family, her friends. If there's an event, something going on in the community, she'll take time out to be involved in that. I mean, I don't know how she finds enough hours in the day to even sleep, let alone do.
Well, there's only 24, and I think she's going like 48.
At least.
Is there another use? You have a twin maybe, or you're cheating the system, or what? I get
it. It's what? I remember when I was young, people would come to my school and speak, and now they call me so I can go speak to the schools. And I have never said no to any school since I was in college, because the schools always call me. And I don't miss any career days. I don't miss, because I figure if I can inspire a young girl that comes from parents like me that worked in the fields, that had, absolutely very little, but lots of love and hard work, then I can inspire these kids to just make their dreams come true, then I'll do it.
Amen to that.
Every single day, anytime they invite me, because what Steve says is right. You have to make the time. Do we have time? No, but we can. When you own your business, you can make time to help others. And that's the beauty of owning your business. And that's what I tell a lot of my friends. It's like, yes, we can complain about this and that, but having that time and giving that time to the right people and your energy to the right people Who cares about the Karens? Who cares about that? You focus your energy in the right place.
That's
and
right.
You just give, and then they'll come to you. Like
so you don't just purposely kick dirt in somebody's face. You're like, maybe I'll get back to that later, right? You take the Karens and the Nancys and the Nellies and you stick them to the side, and then you just time manage. I mean, you're doing it very well. I mean, I have never seen a better juggler in my life than you. I mean, you take juggling to the next level.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. Do you see that look on her face, Steve? She loves it, man.
Sure.
I'm just so proud.
Thank you.
And I am now part of your network. Hint, hint.
Yes.
Right? Energy finds energy. Am I right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Got to do that. Well, that's just amazing. And again, like I said, I can't wait to see you in 5 years. I can't wait to see that smile even bigger. And now she's doing more stuff with you, Steve. Hey, Steve, we need 10 million over here. Come on. We just bought 100 acres. Let's do this, Steve. That's fantastic.
Yes,
it is.
And now this young lady right here, she's
Yes.
been sitting there. She's got this big smile on her face.
Yes. This lady, Stephanie, she is amazing. I mean, I haven't known her for that long, but what I've seen her do, I've listened to her lectures, and she's just taken the short-term rental market to a very, very high level, and she's got it down, and she's going to tell you about, how she got into it. She didn't even start in real estate. She came from another career. She was a registered nurse making a lot of money, and she eventually got out of nursing because this gave her even more opportunity to do better, and it allows her to do exactly what she wants. She travels all over the country. She owns short-term rentals in many different cities. I don't know how she manages what she has, but she's got it all worked out so well. And I'm just proud to be able to know her and to get her into the studio today with her busy schedule. She just came back from Tennessee. She owns short-term rentals over there, and she lives out, in the desert. For her to come over here and spend the time with us, it's really amazing. So, Stephanie, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your family, and how you got into the business in the first place.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Wow, what an intro, Stephen. So thankful to being here, and it's cool because I will literally be in Texas next week. So you caught me like at the perfect
I love
time.
it. You're bored and you're getting your flight tickets prior to coming over here, right?
Yeah, I literally flew back from Tennessee for 3 weeks, and I went to Vegas for a different speaking engagement for 1 day, came back, and now we're here. So
Love it.
But yeah, so for me, I'm Stephanie Figueros. I'm a former registered nurse. Technically, I'm still licensed, but I no longer practice. So my background, everything translates through nursing for me to understand real estate. I did nursing for about 8 years, almost 9, before I completely took the leap into real estate full time.
Wow.
And so
that's
it's
a
been
leap.
journey.
Okay. I mean, you took this. Firstly, you had a great career, number one, right? You're like, did it ever come across your mind like, what the heck am I doing, man? None of it?
What it was there was this feeling of I was meant for something more. And I was sitting in the hospital. I worked case management, so I was kind of a special niche that nobody really knows too much about. But I'm a very solution-oriented person, so that was basically my job, was to solve fires. But I knew I was meant for something more. Did not know what that was. And come full circle, I definitely, without a shred of a doubt, feel like I am living the life I was meant to live.
Oh, yay. Stephanie's here.
Yeah.
Well, you got all this experience, and now how long have you been doing this Airbnb for?
So about 2 years. So I definitely, not too long, but I've accelerated, and I'm a quality type of person. So I went all in and pretty much just switched gears and got very obsessed with it. That's the honest Truth.
I can see those wheels turning up in your head. You don't get much sleep either, do you?
You know, this stuff keeps me up at night and it wakes me up in the morning. So
that's a good habit to have, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just as long as you're getting enough sleep and not, sacrificing anything else, right?
Oh, yeah.
Take care of your health.
You have to have
you got
good
this,
boundaries.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
you know when to walk and know when to run.
Right. Hello. Gosh, Steve, what is it with these girls, man? These guys are insane.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So where did you get your first property? What'd you do?
So it was actually here local in California. I'm known for out-of-state real estate investing and long distance, but I had an arbitrage opportunity. And what that is for the listeners here is basically you are the long-term rental tenant of a landlord, but you are subleasing this property as a short-term rental.
Dig it.
Yeah. So that was how I got in. And there's a lot of benefits to it, but that was actually not on purpose. I was actually looking to buy, but it was a good way to say, let's get some, proof of concept going on. And we'll see how it goes before I put a full on down payment. So that was my first experience.
Did you take any courses? Did you read any books? Did you run at 4:00 in the morning with your headset on, thinking of these cool things as you're listening to your favorite music? What struck this?
So I wanted a side hustle. That was literally what it was. I was working as a nurse. I'm like, okay, this is the degree I got. I had very limited thinking back then. And I think a lot of people do that.
Limited thinking.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was like, okay, side hustle. Let's start there. That's easy to think about. So I almost did e-commerce. And my boyfriend was like, here, you should watch these real estate videos. And so I was like, oh, wow, this is it. We're doing this instead. So I scrapped. It's still on my list. I want to do e-commerce one day, but
you will.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time, right?
Mm-hmm. So it honestly stemmed from YouTube videos, which is funny to say that because it sounds super nothing extravagant. I just wanted something to supplement what I was doing and eventually transition out.
Yeah. You couldn't get enough.
No, I didn't. So I didn't learn from a person. Honestly, I just pulled whatever information from podcasts, from books. There was no real handbook on STRs when I was looking, or at least I couldn't find them. So I just pretty much went to YouTube and the internet to figure out how to do this for my first one. And let me tell
you, a lot of these people really don't want you to know. Am I right?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but I do realize that being with the right people, because there's a saying, and I love this, high tide raises all ships. So it's something now what I do is I coach people
now
how to do this. Look for the
high tides, right?
So yeah, because it's, there's enough room at the top.
There is. And that's just so crazy you said something like that, because attitude is altitude. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Love
With
that.
the right attitude, you get as much altitude as you can handle, right? So you take in your creative juices, and your boyfriend's back there going, hey, honey, what about this? Your intellect just said, boom, we're getting involved. Let's go, right? And you're just a little firecracker as it is. And that set alone, you guys just grabbed each other's hands and jumped for the sky, didn't you?
Pretty much. I think I grabbed his and said, and I think he did that for me.
He's like, wow.
Well, between the two of us, I'm the spear, and he just has to help put me in the right direction.
Just
and
push you in the right direction.
All right, this is what I was like, all right, let's go and get in the car. Let's go.
What a great relationship. Congratulations on that.
Awesome.
So you started locally with your house. You got your first one. You rented it from somebody who had a house, and you had an agenda to re-rent that house out to other people. You know what, Steve? I hear about it all the time, but I'm just like, oh, hell no. That sounds like an unmanageable thing to do. How could you? And you put a little piece of yourself in other states, and then now you're sitting there talking about it and can't wait to go to Texas. Hello? So, I mean, I just see you guys make time management look like a cakewalk. There's some people that can't tie their shoes, go to work, and they go home. Can I watch the same television channel today? Right? You guys are the future, man. So I want to hear a book coming from both of you guys. I want to see the videos, and I'm going to keep pounding you until you write a couple of books. And you know what? This is one of the things that I've told Steve, and I tell everybody else. Listen, whatever is out there in this universe, God, Buddha, whoever, whatever this guy's naming, he's bigger than all of us put together. It doesn't matter. He gives us gifts, right? We acknowledge those gifts. And as far as I'm concerned, if I don't train somebody how to podcast in the future, I'm going to lose the memory of how to podcast. This is what I feel, right? Just like contracting, and I'm an entrepreneur as well. I'm an ex-police officer. How do you go from gun to son? You know, that's just so dumb, right? It was similar to your RN experience, to where you just said, there's something more out there. I gotta dive in. And then you do it without even a question. Here I am at the front of the desk of my chief, you know, unscrewing the badge on my chest, giving him the bullets, and said, hey, thanks, I got to move on. Something's telling me to go. You did the same thing, right? So that's just incredible. And then now you spread yourself. I don't call it too thin, Steve. She just manages. She has a little, kind of a little advisor in her head, right? And he's got little departments over here. And depending on where she is, he's going to work and putting all her best foot forward, you know?
Right.
I just love this, man.
And the thing
what
about
a treat, man. What a treat.
Stephanie is she has good help. She doesn't have to do everything herself. She has virtual assistant. She has boots on the ground in the cities, you know, that she owns these properties in. I mean, she's got people to do the cleaning. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Otherwise, I mean, it would be virtually impossible as she's growing and acquiring, you know, more properties,
to keep
more
up,
assets.
right? To keep up.
Right. And the other thing, Chris, is, you know, there's a big difference between short-term rentals and long-term rentals. And I'd like Stephanie to go into that in a little bit more detail, because with a long-term rental, you could just have a house and maybe splash a coat of paint on it, put some, you know, new carpets, and then run an ad, and, you know, you get a tenant, and that's it. But tell us, Stephanie, how is it different having a short-term rental, and then what do you have to do to make that work as a business?
Yeah, absolutely. This is actually a big question that starts to come up, especially nowadays with how the market's been. Short-term rentals is honestly, depending on the type of market you're in. So I'll speak more so with the vacation markets more than the metro markets where you have more travelers for work. But on the vacation side, you are creating an experience. It's literally a hospitality business. Now, the real estate is great. You do have to get the right configurations, the right locations. There's intangibles, views, things like that you can't fix. But truthfully, when it comes to short-term rentals, it's very upfront. It's active. And that's something that people think about passive income. Well, there's really nothing passive about it. But the benefits are there. 3 to 4 times of LTR rent.
Yeah.
It didn't take much for me to match my income as a nurse with short-term rentals as it would have if I just did long-term rentals. So, and the cool thing too is, like, I love traveling. So this is why I am in so many states. Of course you do. So it fit my lifestyle. And I always tell people, you know, you have to really understand and have a strong why do you want to do STRs or short-term rentals in the first place, because it is not for the faint of heart. But there are so many benefits and parallels that I've realized that actually match with nursing quite a bit.
Wow. So it definitely is a great parallel, right? Mm-hmm. You case manage things, and you're basically just case managing rentals.
Yep.
If you think about it. So if I'm right to say this, you go to a specific area where you have your target, and then you circle that with the management team, your team that's going to take care of that facility. And you just let them go, go, go.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot more to that, right? But yes, essentially too, with the due diligence part is making sure there is the right infrastructure. The last thing you want to do is get a house and realize there's no cleaners that are suitable for this type of asset class. So making sure you're in the right markets can really make or break your success in short-term rentals. But on top of that, good operations is everything else. So we self-manage in-house, and I definitely leverage virtual assistants, but I wasn't doing that from the beginning. I was operating 4 rentals in 3 different time zones while still working full-time as a nurse before.
While you were working as a nurse?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not joking.
Wow.
True story.
Yeah. Okay. So you got all these things figured out, And now you've got a infrastructure that best benefits the whole circle of what you do.
Oh, yeah.
And you sit back there, and now, am I right to say this? You sit at your computer, and you're going, oh, that property's doing pretty well. That's fantastic. I've already had my video conference with her. I'm going to go have a conference with him next, right? And you check in. Mm-hmm. Is that how you're doing it?
Something very similar, yep. So our virtual assistants have a process that they follow for check-ins and check-outs. More than anything, my priority nowadays is, and I'm actually shifting, but I'm still in the listing optimization and pricing or revenue management. It's something I gave away but took back. So my role now is pretty much expansion. How do we continue to acquire? And I'm always streamlining processes. So I have another VA helping me with SOPs so we can keep scaling.
Well, I can see it now, Steve, where she's all of a sudden, I'm going to hear her name again. I'm going to say, she's in what country now? Are you kidding me? Right?
Right.
Why not? It's just a different location.
Yeah.
The same process. Once you've mastered the first process and it really, really spits out pickles the way you want it to, right? You just need to duplicate that.
Correct. It's a rinse and repeat. Yep.
You ever thought about putting, because there's this tax thing that we talk about all the time, Steve and I, right? You ever thought about buying real property and maybe hiding it or putting it in real property to kind of like be little bitty banks of houses? That's what we're doing. We just got one in Georgia today. So we're neighbors almost, right?
Almost.
Yeah, Rossville. So we're close to Chattanooga.
Okay.
Up at the top. So, maybe there's another thought process you're thinking about, because you guys are so young. I wish I was your age. Somebody was talking to us old farts, right, Steve? Telling us how to do it because, I don't know, they didn't have social media when we were your age. They had a beeper. I had a beeper. I was carrying a 38. Who carries a 38 anymore? They got the 44 Magnums now, right? So our world was a lot different than your world is today. And you're just maximizing all these tools. And these guys are crazy, crazy cool, man.
Yes.
I'm having a blast. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm just like, wow. This is experience in front of me.
It is.
And I'm sharing in it.
And this generation coming up, I mean, they're really the doers and they're setting the path to success. So, and they're really nice, humble people, and they don't mind, helping other people, which is wonderful, and they'll just continue to grow and prosper.
Again, I always say attitude is altitude, and as much as you guys can give back and to show that little person kind of getting their feet wet in any of these businesses that you're involved in now, I'm telling you, it's going to come 100-fold. So by the time you get to retirement age, like, I don't want to say Steve and I, but we have to say it, right? You guys are going to have dynasties. These are serious things that you're doing now. And do you actually see the reality? You haven't seen the end yet, have you? You're just too busy in the now. And then, but I can visualize you guys in the future. And they're doing television commercials. They're doing, TED Talks. How did I start out? You guys, I'm just planting seeds. Hint, hint. Right? I'm a marketer, a networker too. So don't let your mind and everything run wild, please. And look at everything possible, especially if it benefits you. If it doesn't benefit or serve you, why serve it to somebody else? Right? So that attitude, man, is there. I mean, is there enough ceiling in this room? It's so high.
What ceiling? There's no ceiling.
There is no ceiling. I like that. You guys are crazy. And for you to take literally dirt, and I don't think anybody would have thought of that. You got 600 palm trees, and now you turn this thing into an oasis. It just blows me out of the water. I can't wait to hang out at your next event.
Yeah, no, it has to do with the short-term rental, Airbnb. That's how we started. So
Similar.
Whoa. We had a house, and we rented it for Coachella for a weekend, and for 1 weekend we made $15,000.
Yeah.
What? Look at this. She's like shaking her head. That's what I'm talking
when we
about.
saw that, we're like, well, let's just multiply that by 400, spots. And not to say those were the numbers or are the numbers, but it just opened us up. Like, if we buy a ranch that's 8 acres, right now we're using like less than 2 acres really for camping. We just finished remodeling and fixing like the grass area for another 3 acres. So we are going to, I think, quadruple the amount of
get out of here.
I love that.
In the next
here's
year.
your next journey.
So
look at these guys.
It's amazing, and we're having a blast.
Look at you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm just like, I'm in a room with greatness. I feel like Muhammad Ali, Steve, is to us, is hanging out talking about his next fight, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh. I am just so tripped out about that. And then you are the money guy that can help them put possibilities into reality, right?
Right.
So if they need a little extra leverage, a bridge loan or something like that.
Yeah. So we originally gave Claudia funds to buy the property, and once she did that, then we saw what she was doing, and it was amazing, the transformation of the property in a short period of time. And then I attended several events at her place, and then she had this big vinyl pool, above ground pool, and she had all these people in it. And she says, Steve, I'm worried, I can't have, any bigger events because this pool's not going to hold up. Yeah, and it's going to tear, and, I don't want to have any problems. So I looked at her and I said, don't worry, we're going to give you extra money to build a pool. So that's what...
is that what you showed me in the social media, that monster pool?
Yeah. So her husband, he's in the construction trades, and all he needed, was extra money. So we provided the money, and then all of a sudden they built this beautiful pool. And being in the desert, you need that, because now she has these awesome parties, and having that pool, really helps out. And it's just the whole aura of the facility, and going by the pool and seeing, she'll have a DJ out there, and it's really wonderful. And then, she'll have food trucks and all kinds of stuff. They have masseuses, they have hairstylists.
I'm there.
I mean,
Me too.
People.
That masseuse thing got me alone.
It's just amazing. They're doing yoga there. Wow. I mean, it's like Shangri-La. It really is.
She called it paradise, and I like Shangri-La. I love that, Steve.
I mean, I've stayed, there, like when it was my birthday and things like that.
What?
And it's such an experience. And I meet people from all over the world that come to stay at that facility, and they're just, they have an awesome time over there. Everybody's, really enjoying themselves, and it's just fun to be a part of all that.
Well, it took hard work.
Yeah.
You didn't get there eating Pop-Tarts, as they would say, right?
This morning I got a few bookings, and I looked. I was like, from Germany, from Canada, and then the notes were like, "We're coming back.
Get out of here.
See you soon."
What?
It's just from Korea, from China, from everywhere.
So social media is really putting the dots together.
Yes.
And then people are coming out there. And you said, how many 5-star reviews did you have?
250 plus.
Woo-wee.
Wow. Yeah.
Dang.
Airbnb, we don't even have a 4-star. Like Airbnb, it's all 5-star. It's excellent. We're everywhere. Expedia, we're on every single hotel website you can find. Amazon.
It's like a hotel if you think about it, right?
Yes.
I can see Stephanie saying, I'm gonna hang out here for a couple days. I'll see you over in Florida soon. Hang out with you for a summer event or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, how many events do you do a year?
Right now, there's we have all the weddings every weekend as well, and some
weekend weddings.
Weekend weddings. So this weekend we had a wedding. People from Colorado, San Francisco, and so on. And then we have 2-day weddings where they have Saturday, they have the venue where it's the garden. And then the Sunday, they'll have a pool party. So we have that.
Nice.
We just closed a loan to build an Airbnb, like a house that's going to be our pool house.
I love it.
And we're adding that to the mix. And then we also have Stagecoach, Coachella Festival weekend, and we have 2 Coachella Festival. And now they added the power trip. We're 1.6 miles away from the Coachella Festival. So people can actually walk to the festival, but we also have shuttle service. Like Steve said, we have shuttles, we have yoga, we have beauty bar, we have food trucks.
You know, I need to get my shoulder worked on. I can see myself sitting down there now.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, we had 60% return clients, and they brought all their cousins and friends. So it's
that's huge,
growing.
man.
We run out of space. Like we sell out every year.
You know, I can see it now, Steve. She owns Coachella Valley. I mean, why not, right?
Right.
You know, if you're not going to do it, don't do it at all. If you do it right, just do as much as you can.
Well, we saw the big investors coming from Los Angeles, big companies, and we thought, well, why not us? You know, why not people like us that really are not from much, you know, that started a career and decided to dream bigger, you know? And I feel like it's always big companies that make it, and they have employees. And for us, it's just, a family of 4.
And you know, the cool thing about it is the weather is spectacular in Coachella Valley. You can't get any oasis. That's an understatement, right? It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's why the snowbirds go. The richest people in the world go there and live there for 6-7 months a year.
Yeah. And Stephanie here. Hello.
Hey.
My gosh. What other thing are you thinking about doing this out of the country?
I
wanted to plant that seed. I'm sorry.
Mexico. Go to Mexico.
I wanted to plant that seed because I want to go to both your resorts. You know, there's an S at the end, so you gotta empower me to do so. So I'm gonna plant that positive seed of, if you can do it in the United States, you can duplicate that anywhere on the planet. You've got this, lady. You have this.
I'm considered out of the country,
and that would be a great reason to travel. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'll see you in 16 hours. Why not? Why not you?
Yeah, why not? That's exactly what I kept telling myself for the longest time.
Are you over that now? Do you look in the mirror and say, "This is me"?
I mean, now I'm like, well, what else can you do? That's that's kind of what I see now. And when I look at other people and they have the same reservations that I had once before, now I'm telling them, well, why not you? Why
not you? So you guys, I am hoping, I pray a little bit, and I'm going to put that up there, and I'm going to say, give these girls the strength, give them the abilities, give them the knowledge, give them all the tools necessary to duplicate that again and to give other people enjoyment, right? Give other people relaxation. You guys are what I call fun managers. I hate you guys. You guys are like the funnest people on the planet because you're not only talking about it. You hear that old saying, talk is cheap. Well, you've stomped that into the ground, right? It doesn't exist with you guys. You guys are actually thinking about it. You've created it, and now you're running it. I'm just blown away, Steve, by all the necessary things. I mean, they had to go through fire, right? If you can go through fire, you're fireproof. Am I right? You got to become. You got to become fireproof.
I think bulletproof.
Any business, bulletproof is cool. Anything like that where you're fireproof or bulletproof. If you can get to that level, nothing. And I repeat this. Look at Hewlett Packard starting the barn. I mean, Jeff Bezos started in an apartment with his wife, Amazon. Mm-hmm. And you guys have taken that to the next level. So I'm serious when I say this. I want annual passes to all your events, Claudia. And I want to stay at your overseas Airbnb or wherever you got. I want to see a menu. You get that? I want to see a menu just like everything you guys offer so I can share the wealth with that as well with others. Because that's how we get stronger. is sharing the advice, sharing the knowledge, sharing everything, because if you don't share, you lose it. I have to tell you that. Mm-hmm. I've experienced that a couple times. So it doesn't matter what it is. If I know it, I'm going to tell you. But I want to see you guys. And, I said TED Talk, didn't I? I mean, honestly, jump up on the stage.
That would be a dream.
No, it's not a dream.
Well, actually,
people
you're
talk.
right, it's not a dream.
People talk about rubber baby buggy bumpers up on TEDx, stuff like that. You guys, I want to see you in 12 months. I'm giving you a goal now. I'm giving, because you guys like challenges. You guys beat challenges into the ground. I want to see you arrange something. And Steve, maybe we can help in some way. I'm not too sure, but let's put our feelers out there. I want to see you guys do a TED Talk on your success, because what this world really needs to teach in school is how to become successful. They need to teach, education's great. It's okay to get a college degree, but let's not stop there. They need to teach accounting. They need to teach taxes to these kids. They need to teach entrepreneurism. Entrepreneurism should be a class, as far as I'm concerned, to get these kids' wheels turning so they can stick something, an idea. Some of these kids now that are coming up, Steve, are just blowing it out of the water.
That's right.
It's women like this that, you shape the future. So I want to see a lot of shaping going on.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I'm actually hosting my second conference next week on
What?
short-term rentals in San Diego.
You're in San Diego.
We were in Vegas last year, and now we're in San Diego.
Oh.
So
Congratulations.
Of course, right? Congratulations to you. Wow. When are you going to do something out here?
you never know. We could do
The
something.
IE needs you.
Oh, I know. I love the Inland Empire. Born and raised here.
Yeah?
So just like how in Coachella,
Okay.
I'm Riverside, Moreno Valley native, pretty much.
Nice, nice. It is just amazing, Steve. I can't thank you enough for sharing these people with me today. And Steve always tells me, we got these. He told me like a couple of weeks ago, I have these two amazing women that are going to come in the show, and they're just going to share their stories. And I'm thinking like, glamping. I'm thinking camping, and I, of course, I have no clue. I'm over here in the dark. And then Airbnb, I was like, does that really work? So I was your negative Nelly for a minute. And I am just completely blown away, and I support you hand over fist in anything that you do in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you guys want to come back here and hang out and do a specific show on just what you want to do, if you want to start your own podcast so you can have, an eager beaver start talking about all those things and how to do it, come to me. I'll help you. Same for you, because remember, this is just another type of media to market. It's going to go to Apple. It's going to go to Google. It's going to go to Yahoo, LinkedIn. It's going to go to, YouTube and all the others, iHeartRadio, Open Media. There's like 20 different places that are actually going to hear this later on today. So I want you to take advantage of all the tools that we have to offer for you, right? I just love you to hang out just so I can learn, And not that I'm going to do it. Hell no, I ain't got the time. Now I'm in, me and a friend of mine are in retirement mode, right? I would have did your thing at 30, but, I'll kind of let you hang out and finish that up. And then I'll see you with a martini on the other side of the planet one day, right? We'll just all celebrate around a beautiful fire or something like that. But talking about crazy, Steve, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah. Appreciate.
Isn't he the humble giant? Am I right?
He is.
You can't really see this guy until he opens up. But when he opens up, I'm just like, I can't see the bottom, man. Where are you, Steve? You blow me away, man. I'm really happy to have you as a friend.
Thank you.
And
appreciate that.
you've been a sincere, just confidant in what you do and your financing, man. I mean, you're helping hundreds of people every year.
Yeah, we love to help people, from first-time buyers to veterans that want to buy their first house with no money down, to business owners, people that need an SBA loan, people with a business, they need a commercial loan to expand their business, or even private money for people who might not qualify for a traditional loan, we love to help them.
Entrepreneurs like me.
Of course.
And them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
There's nothing about gaining wealth. Am I right? Not that we all have to be at the top, and look down at the little people. Oh, we've got lots of money. Blah. It's not about that. It's about, taking that thing you put in your mind. Everybody starts with an idea, right? You had challenges, but you weren't saying no to anything. And then you just jumped on the train. The train was going by like 300 miles an hour, and you just grabbed on. And then you grab your boyfriend's hand, and you guys are just like whoosh down this lane, right? And then you guys eventually got wings, and it all became because you had the idea of what you wanted. You had to test the waters. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Had to test the water. What was your biggest challenge ever doing what you're doing today?
Ooh, that's a really great question. I honestly think it was scaling. How do we do this on a bigger level, or how do we continue to do this? Because I feel like a lot of people will get that momentum and then they'll hit a plateau. And that was kind of our biggest thing. And so that's when we started trying to be creative about, well, how are the different ways we have talents now that our skills that we've acquired, what can we do to keep moving forward? And so getting to the scale part of it, whether that was utilizing our operations expertise and going into like STR management or joint venturing for those that have the funds but don't have the time, but they want a STR asset. Those were the biggest challenges, having to overcome that. And now it's much easier once we kind of we went through that plateau.
So you've actually paved that road, you hit a mountain, you dug through the mountain, and now you're looking back going, it wasn't that hard. And now you're duplicating. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Stephanie, I want to see you in 10 different countries. I mean, I like Egypt, by the way. I don't know if you're going to.
It's on the list. I want to visit.
Oh, do you really? Is that on your bucket list? Okay, so we have many things in common. But seriously, virtual, it's just a different time zone, right?
It's all relative.
Out
of state is all relative. When I went to Tennessee, guess what? California is now long distance. So
exactly, right?
It's all relative.
It's all relative. And you, young lady, what was your biggest challenge, your number one biggest challenge in doing what you did? Tell us about it.
I think the day that we were told we had to shut down all our businesses.
What?
From the county. And we received a letter, and it wasn't just me. It was
this Coachella Valley.
Yeah, and this is the Riverside County trying to shut down all the ranchos that had events. And to us, it was devastating because we were told prior to purchasing the land that we were okay, and that was part of the ordinance that we can have events, and that's why we bought it. We didn't buy it without, checking and making sure, everything was right. So when that happened, I was having a meeting with the supervisor and different people from the county, and they told me that, no longer, you can only have 4 events a year. And I basically got the phone and I called every radio station, every TV station. And I said,
here we go.
Come by. I'll see you in 30 minutes. I had every TV station at the ranch, and
Whoa.
I wanted to tell the world, our world, what the county was going to do to all the hundreds and thousands of small businesses and how they were going to hurt all of our community. And we created a movement. I led the movement, and I pushed like I've never pushed before. I worked the hardest I've ever worked. My heart was in pieces. I thought I was going to lose the 15, 20 years that I've been working so hard for, because the county decided that we all had to shut down. And I have to tell you that 3 years later, we have thousands of followers. We have people that show up to the county. We fight for what we believe. We know that we're doing things right. And it has been all worth it. And now they're writing an ordinance to keep us in business because they know it's fair and they know that we deserve this. And that was the hardest.
Hey, listen, if you really think about it, you're creating an income stream. Hint, hint, Riverside County, wake up, right? Mm-hmm. You're creating opportunity for a desert.
Exactly.
Which had nothing but, I don't know, what's a bunch of windmills out there? I mean, it's just like disgusting. You drive by and you go, oh, who owns that one? Right? It's so crazy. And then you've turned this, thanks to the people that listen to you, they actually saw Shangri-La appear in their mind. And they saw the fun. They saw their families going there. And they saw their friends. And now you are part. If you want to get technical, you know how they have that little shape of, the city symbol and stuff like that. They should have a little piece of Shangri-La in the corner. Kind of your events with a bunch of palm trees. They should reclassify that logo now. I think you should do that next.
I think they realize when we just don't stop. We will show up to every meeting. We will not give up.
That's powerful when you go to the city meetings, isn't it?
It's to the county, to Riverside. So a group of us.
You get 3 minutes?
3 minutes. Yeah.
Per person.
And
she's got 8,000 outside.
and we speak, and there's stories where one of my friends from one of the ranchos, she worked in the fields for 30 years and she saved all her money to buy a farm. And I mean, she cries when she tells you the story, and it's like Esperanza buys this ranch to have events because it was on the ordinance. And then they tell her to shut down, then they give her fines, then they give her, and I stand there with her because she doesn't even know how to speak English. And I tell her, Esperanza, don't give up. We're here. We're going to work this out. We're going to make this right because what's fair is fair. And sure enough, right now, Esperanza and other ranchos, we're waiting for that ordinance to be written so we can pay what we need to pay, so we can do what we need to do, so we can stay in business fair and square, and, of course, continue with our festival campgrounds, continue with our glamping and all that, because we are still in business because we fought our way to stay in business.
So did I hear that you're helping Esperanza become an entrepreneur?
We are going to help everybody stay in business, and
you're a creator,
will be there
man.
Until the end.
You're amazing. You're going to take everything, and not just your stuff. Did you hear that, everybody, Steve?
Yeah.
Right? Am I right, Stephanie? She's not just taking her agenda. She's put a lot of love into that circle, and now she's going to help everybody who's at the well take a sip, right? That's a true entrepreneur, man. That's a true entrepreneur. God bless you.
We have to. I mean, when you know everyone's story and how hard they have worked to buy these lands and these ranchos, these farms, you can't just walk forward and make money and not look back and hold their hand. Like, you got to go, you got to take them with you. And I always say, when your intentions are right, you're going to win, because there is no way, you're not going to get that support from thousands of people. And we have it. And the county will only do what the people want.
Exactly.
And the people
Thank you.
want this.
Yes.
They need it. Our community is not going to spend $60,000 on going to a country club. They can afford a few thousand to rent a ranch for an event, have their beautiful quinceañera, and have the best moment for their daughter and experience this beautiful day where they can actually afford and not break their bank. And what we are creating is these moments that nowhere else they can have.
On the planet.
Yeah, and they can afford them. And this is what we bring to the table, and we will continue fighting to stay in business for our community, for our people, for our quinceañeras, for our weddings, for our bodas, because we know what's right, and we're always going to fight for what's right.
Steve, did I hear a golf course in that? Is she going to make a golf course? She's got plenty of property, right? I mean, come on. I'm not more. That bad, but
I'll buy more.
Okay, I'm blown away by that statement, and thank you for sharing. Number one, I know it takes a lot to put it out on the table, and Stephanie, man, you take. What was that cartoon character I was going to say really quick, Steve? That one, that little guy, he's blue and he runs so fast and he's just bing, 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 bing everywhere else. Oh, yeah. Well, back in my days, sorry, they replaced him with somebody else. It was the Roadrunner. You ever seen the Roadrunner show? Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say no.
Oh, I'm not that. I look young, but.
Okay, so the road runner, right? You know, that Wile E. Coyote would come behind him trying to get him every time, and you're sitting there with that idea, both you guys, and you go, bang, and then you're off to the races. Steve, I mean, how do you top that?
Well, one thing I want to say about Stephanie, one of the reasons why she's so successful, I've seen photos of her facilities, and they're really gorgeous. She decorates them to the nines. She has professional photographers take photos. She doesn't just get in there with a cell phone camera. I mean, everything is done perfectly. So when people go online, they read her reviews. The locations are just fantastic. And plus, she's got everything managed so well that when people go, whatever it is, she's got somebody available to take care of the people's needs. That's the difference between her place and somebody else, because they might be complaining, oh, I don't have any guests, I don't have any visitors. Because again, this is a business. You're in the hospitality business. You're not just taking a house and slapping paint and putting some carpets. They've got to be decorated just right. I mean, why would people go there? I mean, if the experience isn't right, they'll just go to a hotel or somewhere else. I mean, I've been to Airbnbs. I mean, it was like the worst experience in the world. Now, if you go to Stephanie's place, it'll never be like that, because she is so detailed oriented. Everything's going to be perfect. And that's why when you come back from one of her places, you're going to go back, or you're going to go to another one of her places.
Repeat customer.
Exactly. Like she says, rinse and repeat.
Ah, look at that. Rinse and repeat. So true, right?
Oh, yeah.
She gives that 5-star experience, and she mentioned the word quality. You know, my company has quality in front of one of them, right? Mm-hmm. So did you see that and say, oh, that's me, right? But anyways, yeah, rinse and repeat. Mm-hmm. You guys are crazy cool, man. I am so I got butterflies floating around right now inside of all I mean, all the energy. I'm a sponge right now, and your energy is feeding me, and I'm trying to feed you some back energy and stuff like that. Can you feel it? My chi? Is it warm enough?
Yeah,
giving
I
you my
feel
chi, right? And Steve, just insane, man. I was kind of, wow. But this right here, it took me for a loop, man.
Yeah,
I can't thank you enough.
You're welcome. I mean, whenever we have a podcast, we're going to bring in the best guests.
5-star, right?
5-star.
Hey, maybe we should change the name. 5-star podcast. No.
And people, who are on the same wavelength, like whatever their business model, will have somebody with similar business interests. So, it'll just flow smoothly when we have the podcast.
Guidance is the best rule, period, for results. If you can go out there and kind of like you did, hint, hint, right? You're out there throwing it out there. Oh, I wonder if this is going to work. I wonder if that's going to work. And all of a sudden, you started writing the book. You started memorizing the process. Now you guys can actually make the same type of business anywhere on the planet. You guys got to talk about it. I'm going to mention it again. TEDx. I'm going to give you guys 12 months. I'm putting a challenge in you. Both of you guys are strong women, man. I want to be there when you do it. You follow me? I want to film it. I want to experience it. And I want to see all that confidence come rushing down the stage. I just love you guys to pieces right now. And we've met just one time today, right? I didn't know you before. And, thank you up there for putting all the dots together, and that's what this world is all about, right?
That's
putting the dots together.
Stars are aligning.
Right? I love the aligning stars.
The 5 stars are aligning.
When I go home, Steve, I'm gonna rinse and repeat.
That's right.
I love it.
I'm gonna do that. I love you guys. If now I want you guys to also, I gave you my cards today. I want you to send me the links to the things that you do so I can exploit those on the Energy Hour podcast. I want to tell the world about it. I want to share my experience today that you've shared with me. And so if I had to ask you, Claudia, what is do you have a website address?
Yes.
What is that website address?
The website for the glamping is www.festivalcampgrounds.com.
You got that domain name?
Yes.
That's like a 1 in a million, man.
Yes.
What? And
We
you know
have-
about domain names.
Yes. It's
Festival
Campgrounds
with an S? And she got a .com. Mine would have been an
It's
EDU.
Festival Campgrounds because there's going to be more.
Oh, she's putting it there, right?
Yeah.
Festivalcampgrounds.com. How do they contact you? Do you have a Instagram? Do you have a telephone number?
We have an Instagram with the same name, Festival Campgrounds, and we have also a few more Instagrams. We have Rancho 51 Date Garden. That's for the venue.
Okay.
And my phone number, 760-578-5931. If they want to have weddings, they can go through our websites or our Instagrams or call me.
Quinceañeras you mentioned too.
Quinceañeras, yes.
So you are putting that to the next level.
Yes.
Exactly. A girl just turned 15. She's in womanhood. She wants to experience her family, her friends. What a place to do it at.
Yes. It's
gorgeous, right?
It really is. It's special, especially for like the Latino community. And we are waiting for this date to happen, right? Since they're born, they're like, for your quinceañera, everything's for your
Come
quinceañera.
on, right?
And then it happens, and we are there to support, once again, our community.
What's that website again?
Festivalcampgrounds.com.
Telephone number?
760-578-5931.
Claudia, I admire
Thank
you
you.
times infinity.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success. And keep me posted out there if you need another person to sign whatever.
Thank you.
I carry a big stick. So
You know what? I need to come back when that ordinance is done.
yes,
And I'm going to be throwing a big party
There you
after that, I'll
go.
tell you.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a remote podcast in Coachella?
Absolutely.
I can bring my equipment and we'll
Let's
just
do
let
it.
it rip, right?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Stephanie, now you have a website, you've got an Instagram, I'm sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hell, you're on Expedia. Come on. You guys both are out there on the flipping real estate market. Oh, my God. So give me your website, give me your telephone number, and I want everybody else to hear what you do.
Sure. So I'll probably start with my Instagram just being like my personal website, so to
Okay.
speak. I'm still kind of under
That's all right.
construction on
Finding
my
the
own
time.
domain. Yes, that part too. Getting the right people to help me too.
Amen.
But I have a link tree in my bio on Instagram that pretty much has all my socials, my YouTube, my LinkedIn, my Facebook,
Nice.
all my other websites. But if you want to check out my properties or just see a little bit more about where we are, vividiconicproperties.com is our direct website.
Vivid Iconic.
Yes.
So just like it sounds.
Yes.
.com.
VIP for short. But yeah.
Of course.
That's our logo is VIP, but that's what it stands for.
VividIconic.com?
Vividiconic.properties.com.
Properties. There it is.
Yeah.
VIP. Vivid Iconic Properties, just like it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an S in the properties?
Yes.
Okay, .com. What's a phone number somebody can call to maybe book something?
Sure. You can call 951-840-0751.
0751. I love it. Stephanie, again, you represent, possibilities, both of you guys here. You've taken adversities, you've taken challenges, you've taken many things. Other people, the naysayers, they're out there. Trust me, am I right? They will stomp all of us into the ground at the same time to get a little acknowledgement of, I just did that. But we're fighters, right? We are fighters. And there's many reasons that we're sitting here talking about this now. I can't thank both you guys enough for doing what you're doing. I want to hear more. Again, I'm pushing TEDx, man. I'm gonna put it out there, Steve, and we're just gonna keep talking about it. Hey, Steve, in closing, what do you want to say?
Well, I just want
to say, wow.
I just want to thank my two guests here. Again, they came a long distance and spending time out of their busy day to be here. So it means a great deal for me, and I hope they enjoyed themselves. And if anybody needs any further information about the podcast or about any types of loan programs, the best thing to do would be to visit my website at financialbrokers.net. That's financialbrokers, plural.net. And they can see a full list of our disclosures, our licensing information, and get an idea on the various loan programs that we provide.
Amazing. Okay, everybody, episode 65. Thanks for putting that on the board for me. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. Claudia, congratulations.
Thank you.
Stephanie, yay, look at you. I want to go to Egypt. We're talking,
Okay,
right?
all right, Egypt
And
it
Steve,
is.
keep up the good work, buddy. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Energy Hour podcast.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to qhiinc.com/TEO. That's qhiinc.com/TEO.